Welcome back. So Newcastle, the first team to beat Arsenal in the Premier League this season, the first team to stop Arsenal scoring in the Premier League this season, winning by 1-0. But the goal, bear with me, you're both going to have your say, OK? Shay, first of all, your reading. Happy with the goals being given, obviously?
Well, there's a lot to go through, Stephen, and there's a lot of people will come on from an Arsenal point of view say it's.
Well, let's go through stage by stage.
Stage by stage. And
is the ball out or in play?
Well, I think this is inconclusive, and you'll have your say in a minute, right? Okay, so there's a circumference of the ball has to be, obviously the whole circumference has to be out for it to be out of play. We've got a magnifying glass on it in a second, we'll probably show it a bit better. So to the naked eye, if you keep an eye on the ball in this stage, we think it looks out of play. But in the grand schemes of the Premier League, should have some sort of angle down the line to see the circumference of the ball. Is slightly the left-hand side of that ball, as we look, in touching the line at all, or do we agree it's out of play? On that, it looks out of play to me. Okay, that's my opinion. It's inconclusive. Now, the next question is there a foul on the defender, on Joe Linton?
Well, we'll come back to that. Righty. Ball in play or not?
Well, for me, that ball looks out of play. And the saddest thing for me now, sitting there, is as the Premier League, we haven't got anywhere to conclusively say, like Shay's rightly saying, the circumference. We need to know these things. We need to know that, yes, that ball has crossed the line, it's fine. We need to also know that if there's two hands put in the back of somebody...
We'll come to the foul in a minute. Just playing devil's advocate here.
Go on.
We're hearing there aren't an angle that is conclusive, 100% certain to say it's out of play. Therefore, the goal is given.
Well, can we talk... Well, if there's no angle, from where we are, with the only angle we've got, that ball's out of play. So why are you saying that ball is in play if there's no conclusive angle to show us that ball is touching the line? So that, for me, is the ball's out of play. So if that's all we've got, then we have to surely judge it on that.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, as I say, we can only go in the naked eye. In that angle, the only angle that we have, the ball looks out of play. But what we believe is the circumference of the ball could fractionally be over the line, but we can't tell.
We need to speak to the former Premier League referee, Dermot Gallagher. Dermot, we're going to go through this one by one. So first of all, on the ball being in or out of play, talk to us.
Right, the whole of the ball has to be over the whole of the line, and you can look at it from that angle and you can't tell, as Righty says. It's impossible to tell. And the reason I say that is we see people take corners now, and I often think the ball's out of the circumference, but because it overhangs, they're allowed to play. And I think that may be the problem, that they can't be sure that part of that ball isn't overhanging the line. So therefore, on that basis, there's no evidence to say the ball's out of play. That's how it is. It isn't, is the ball in play? It is only penalised if the ball's out of play.
Yeah, but Derm, sorry to interrupt.
No bother.
The angles we're seeing, Dermot, the ball looks out of play. That's surely what we should be judging it on. You know, it's not like, we can't say conclusively. What we can see from that, for me, the naked eye, because we haven't got any other way to prove that circumference is breaking the line, then surely we should give that as the ball out of play.
Righty, I get that, and I fully understand what you're saying, but the problem is, if you see many, many corners taken, as I say, when you look at it down the line, you think that ball's out the quadrant, but when you actually go to it, part of it overhangs the line. The law says the whole of the ball has to be over the whole of the line. The VAR wasn't convinced because of the angle they've got. As you quite rightly say, they haven't got the angle down the line to look at it, so therefore they can't make that decision.
OK,
The on-field decision is ball in play.
OK, Dermot, stay there. Righty. Do you feel there's a case for a foul by Joe Linton?
Well, what I would say with this one as well, Stephen, people think it's sour grapes for me, and to a certain extent it is, probably is. But there's two hands on his back there, and you look at Joe Linton there. You see he's forcing him in the back there. For me, Gabriel probably gets ahead on that ball if he's not impeded. So that's what I would look at from that point of view, and I look at that point of view from any player, whether it was a Newcastle player or an Arsenal player. That guy has been impeded in that moment.
Jay?
Well, there is a physicality to the game as well on the other side of that. Joe Linton's going to be trying to head in the ball, so there's going to be a naturally coming together. And I suppose, I don't know how many times you see it, a guy would jump up with his arms to get more leverage. I can see one ref, like Dermot, might say it's a foul, and I can see another ref, like Stuart Atwell, saying it's not a foul. So I think it's what the referee sees, and the maybe didn't see enough to overrule. That's my understanding of it.
Dermot?
I think Shay's hit the nail on the head, hasn't he? The on-field decision was no foul. I think when you look at the three components of this that we're discussing, two we say are inconclusive and can't be checked. I think this is the easiest part of the lot. For me, it's a foul. I think it's a foul. But
for you, it's a foul?
I think it's a foul. The referee didn't think it was a foul on field. The VAR didn't think there was enough contact to overrule the referee. So that's the dilemma we have, is that even if the vote's 1-1, it's the on-field decision.
I'm just honest. I don't know what to say about that. Because, we've got, obviously Derm's no longer doing it, but we've got two referees in there and they don't see that as a foul.
Clearly not.
How can they not see that as a foul? Well, what is it? I know what Shay's saying there about the physicalities and that close proximity, of course. But if you're seeing two hands on somebody and then he can't head the ball, which is his job to head the ball, which he's trying to do, then how can you not be impeded?
So the question would be to me then, Dermot, to the VAR, why didn't the referee get asked to go over to the screen and then have a second look to say if that's a foul, if there's any doubt, for example?
This is the vagary of VAR, Shay, is that the VAR isn't there to re-referee the game. It's not there to say to the referee, I think you've made a mistake. It's there to say, is it a clear and obvious error? They felt there wasn't enough contact to say the referee had made an error on field. Because bear in mind, the referee has a view on field and decided no foul. But as I said earlier, I think of the three, that's the easiest part.
Well said, Dan.
OK, Dermot, just stay there because we'll come back to the final part in a moment after we've gone live to St James's Park. We're talking about one big goal. We're going to speak to the man who scored it, Anthony Gordon. Very well done. Congratulations. Let's talk about the win first of all. How good does that feel, the first team to beat Arsenal this season?
Yeah, it feels amazing. A big win at home, but like you said, especially against Arsenal, they're a massive team, unbeaten this year, and they've been really good. So it's good to get that win.
Now, are we calling the manager a tactical genius tonight? Because we understand 54 seconds after you went into that central role, the ball dropped in the right place at the right time. Yeah,
that's all down to the manager. We've been having some jokes about it in the changing rooms and stuff. So yeah, that's down to him for putting me there.
How comfortable, Anthony, are you playing centre forward? I know you done for England under-21s in the summer, and obviously midweek you played at Man United centre forward as well, or a false nine, call it what you want. How comfortable are you in that position?
Yeah, I am really comfortable. I feel good when I play there. I've still got areas to improve. Obviously, I'm obviously not the biggest, so hold-up play is quite difficult for me. But I think me movement becomes quite natural to me as a nine. So I try to just play my own game when I get put there.
And it's a big game for Newcastle to beat Arsenal there at home in front of a really unbelievable crowd. What I wanted to say to you is, how's the boys feeling? Because that is a big result in respect of a team that you're probably chasing and they're chasing you. So to get that over the line, what's that feel like?
Yeah, like I said, it feels great because we know how good Arsenal are, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of teams up there this year. The Premier League is so difficult, so any win is really important, but especially against the top teams in the league, they're vital this year, and we performed really well. I thought it was a really good game, and yeah, either of us could have won it, and luckily it was us.
Anthony, obviously your goal has won it. There is a bit of debate around it, as you probably heard us talking about that. Were you aware of that at the time, whether it might have been a foul by Joe Linton, whether the ball had gone out of play?
I knew they were checking all sorts of things. I wasn't too sure what they were checking. I was just hoping I hadn't celebrated and had to take it back. So when he pointed to the halfway line, I was over the moon. And
finally, talking of celebrating, the scenes again at the end with those supporters. 4 consecutive Premier League wins, 4 consecutive home Premier League clean sheets as well. What's it like up there on Tyneside at the moment, playing in that cathedral of noise?
I think people are going to get sick of me saying it, but I think you can see, you can hear it probably on the TV. It's so loud in this place, and it's become a fortress for us. And we know teams coming here, they're not really going to want to come and play it. It's an amazing ground with amazing fans, some best fans in Europe for me. And yeah, we play good football here, so we're loving every home game.
Well done today. And talking to Europe, good luck on Tuesday as well.
Well done, Anthony. Well done, mate.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
That is the match winner, Anthony Gordon for Newcastle, the first team to beat Arsenal in the Premier League this season. Straight back to St James's Park. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Arsenal's unbeaten record over. Here's their manager, Mikel Arteta.
Mikel, you knew it was always going to be difficult. It was going to be tough. You said so before the match. But where do you start with this?
Well, praising my players for the performance and the way we played and we didn't deserve to lose the match playing in the ground, and then we didn't lose the match because of the clear and obvious decisions. It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is, a disgrace.
Will you be taking this up with PGMOL?
Yeah, we've been taking it for many months. There's so much at stake. We put so many hours. I'm here to represent the football club and to get my team to compete at the highest level. The margins are so small. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing. That's how I feel. And that's how everybody feels in that room. You cannot imagine the amount of messages that we got to say this cannot continue. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Embarrassing. I defend my players when I have to put there. I defend my job when I have to be there. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. But I have to be here to say it now. It's not acceptable. It's too much at stake.
On the pitch, with the decisions and off the pitch, VAR taking so long, 3 checks before deciding that Anthony Gordon's goal could stand.
I think you look at the images and I feel, honestly, I don't know how to feel. I'm wasting my time. We are wasting our time. I don't want to be in the hands of people. It's difficult enough to compete against this team that they are a really good team. But the way we play, the way we competed, you cannot continue that. It's embarrassing. It's too much at stake. Again, I repeat myself.
You were very patient. We could see what you were trying to do. You were desperately trying to get that equaliser as well. When you say you've been talking to your players already after the game, what kind of things have they been saying to you?
To praise them for what they do on the pitch. And there are other things that we cannot control. But that obviously affects results, affects momentum, affects confidence. And the consequences are too big. Too big.
Hugely strong words there from Mikel Arteta. I counted 6 embarrassings. 3, it's a disgrace. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, I totally agree with all the managers who, through the VARs and through the decisions, what's happening, losing games. You heard him say there, there's too much at stake. There's too much at stake for these managers and for these players. What they're working on week in, week out, for them to go to a game on a Saturday and then lose a game in that manner. And he's not giving Newcastle credit, because Newcastle are a great team. You go up there, it's going to be tough. Like I said, I would have taken 0-0 if we didn't lose in this kind of circumstances. But I'm so pleased just to hear him saying it, because it does anger you. It angers the fans. It's just not acceptable now. I can't sit here. I'm still thinking about the ball, what I can see out, and think to myself, why give it instead of not give it when you haven't got a conclusive Premier League, haven't got a conclusive camera to show us that ball is touching the line. But then what we can see is that the ball's out, but they're going to give the goal. Just that, not even with a push in the back. I'm pleased my manager's speaking right now. I'm delighted for him.
Righty has hit the nail on the head. This one will go on and on.
It's the goal. Mikel Arteta's incredibly angry about it. Said it should never have stood. It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. What are your view of it?
Well, maybe you've seen something I haven't, because I've only seen it with the naked eye. I only seen it live, and from my angle I had no idea what was going on, to be honest, and I had no idea what was going on with the VAR checks either. So in the lap of the gods, really, you're waiting like everybody else was in the stadium, and obviously with every check that was going through, you're thinking they're probably going to find something wrong with it. Very bizarre to have 3 VAR checks, but the goal was given, and that's all I know.
Have you ever come across a goal, have 3 VAR checks and survived all 3?
No, I don't think so.
Talk about the result. Great spirit, determination, and some quality as well in vital moments.
Yeah, I think all 3 of those things. I think it was probably more of a midfield battle than we expected it to be. There was a lot of, I think Arsenal respected us. There was a lot of direct play from them, and the midfield battle became a key area. I thought we were really competitive. I think we needed to be. Thankfully, we kept 11 men on the pitch. There was more bookings than I think they needed to be in the game. Both teams threatened at times to lose their discipline. I'm delighted that we didn't, and it's a massive win for us.
Was that a statement win to the rest of the Premier League? Because we're behind the top 4 today. You're right back in there now.
I don't think it was a statement win, from us to anybody. It was we're just trying to win every game. We're just very, very committed. The players had a really good week, because in the build-up, of course, we beat Manchester United and we rotated the squad, so everyone, I think, was boosted by that, and we had a big lift internally. And then we changed the team back, and the players really responded to that. And I thought physically, again, despite the injuries we've got, looked really, really good today. And the battling qualities we showed at the end to protect our lead as well is probably something we haven't done as well as we could have done this season. But we defended set plays brilliantly at the end, so it's a massive win for us. I think there's always, both benches are desperate to win, desperate to achieve. Got no problem with their conduct, our conduct. I thought both teams or benches were respectful, just obviously doing everything we could to win.
We've run out of time on this particular occasion. Let's not forget, Newcastle are the winners. See you soon.